What about marine energy? You're an ocean conservationist. Are you
Right.
against using the sea as a source of energy, whether it's underwater turbines or wind turbines that are off the coast of Martha's Vineyard or elsewhere?
You would have to bring up my view, wouldn't you? No, I'm not. You know, clearly no one wants to, everyone's nostalgic for the view that they had when they was a kid or when you first bought your home. But I would far rather see a windmill in front of me, an ocean windmill, than I would an oil well, or have to deal with this continued oil policy that it creates so many problems. It's wonderfully ironic that by and large, most of the oil wells were placed in poor neighborhoods because they didn't have the wherewithal to fight them. I started by fighting an oil well in my backyard, because I had the time and the money and the da-da-da. Now, it's us that can afford the ocean view that is going to have to go, because all of the new technology, wind. The East Coast is where you would want a lot of your windmills. And we are facing that, in Nantucket Sound. But absolutely, we should be doing everything possible. Wind power, solar, we should be pouring money into research and development to find out stuff we don't even know before we allow ourselves to continue to drill offshore and put our fisheries, our jobs, our tourism in jeopardy.
So should there be no offshore drilling, or should it just be done more safely in specific, not in sensitive areas?
My position, not everybody's by far, even in the environmental community, is no more offshore drilling, period. No more new. Clearly you're not going to take the rigs out of the Gulf. But you don't open up the Arctic Sea. I had this amazing, we both have had Alaska and Barrow, and I got to have an interview with Mayor Itta of Barrow, and he is in the middle of this fight because I think he said like 12 years ago he got his first indoor bathroom, and he got it because of oil money, because of the tax that they levy on the oil going through their land. Barrow's tough. I mean, that is really subsistence living. And all of a sudden, his people were able to have a life that, we consider, we take for granted because of oil money. And yet their entire culture, I'm sorry, I feel rude sometimes
No,
that
this
I'm
is
doing
great.
this.
No, this is the audience.
Thank you. Their entire culture is based on whaling. Their spiritual heritage is based on whaling. And if you sink an oil well in their sea, you run the risk with a spill or other unforeseen accidents happening that his entire, while he's trying to lift up his people, he could literally destroy them by allowing offshore oil drills in his area. So it's an amazing
Do the people see
position.
that? Because I've been up there and seen these villages where they'd like to have a little better comfort of living, and oil or gas can bring that. Do people see those risks, or they just see the money in front of them that might improve their material well-being?
It's really hard. It's wonderfully humbling. This is easy to say no more offshore oil drilling to you guys. Really easy. Go to Louisiana, go to Texas, go to Alaska and say no more oil drilling. You're saying, oh, so I should not put food on my table, I should not put my kids through college so that you can be right about no offshore. It's very humbling. It's very hard when you're talking about people's livelihoods. I think what Mayor Itta's position is you have to let science lead the way, and he means that genuinely. And if you do let science lead the way and common sense, you're not going to sink an oil well there. I mean, look what happened in the Gulf. Accidents do happen. In the Gulf, it was temperate, and you had all of the response team there. The best response in the world was there, and look what happened. Try doing that in that climate in the Arctic. It would be crazy. It would be insane.